Hey guys, Danny here. Today we're looking at the Hubsan X4 Air Plus. This is a brushless Wi-Fi FPV drone. It records to a micro SD card. It also states that it has a 5 to 800 meter control range. I have the version that comes with a dedicated controller, but this can be flown just using your phone, and it also has several different controllers you can use, but this is the version that I got from Amazon. If you'd like to buy this product, as always, you'll find the link down in the description. I'm going to be unboxing this for you. I'll also be doing a flight test, and then I'll be giving you my final review. So let's get straight to it. Let's take a look and see what we get with this product. Of course, this is the version with the dedicated transmitter, so just bear that in mind if you do happen to purchase a different model. The drone has a really nice finish to it. I like the gold finish. It has really nice weight in the hand. It doesn't feel cheap. You can see the nice big brushless motors there. The camera, of course, is on the front. It isn't adjustable, but it is full HD resolution at 1080p. Here you can see the compartment on the back that houses the battery. It's quite a large battery at 2700 milliamp hours at 7.4 volts. This gives us a nice 20-minute flight time. Of course, as you would expect with a slightly higher end product, the drone records directly to a micro SD. Now we're going to take a look at the controller, which again feels very nice in the hand, has a very solid design to it. The phone holder itself feels very sturdy and really secure. I think this will fit most phones. The controller is of course labelled, and the buttons feel really nice and clicky. The joysticks have a really nice feel to them also. The controller also comes with its own rechargeable battery, which was quite a nice touch. It's 1300 milliamp hours at 7.4 volts. You also get 8 props for our spares, of course. They don't come pre-fitted to the drone, so you get this little tool to help you fit them. And of course, our power adapter for charging the battery. You only get one charger, which you need to charge the controller battery and also the one in the drone. You also get an antenna for the controller. Not sure what this USB cable was for. There was a USB slot on the controller, but plugging it in didn't do anything. Okay, let's go ahead and take this thing for a flight test. As I said earlier, the drone can be controlled directly using your smartphone, but I wanted to use the controller, which acts as a relay. You connect to the controller using your smartphone via Wi-Fi. Then when you power on the drone, it connects to the controller, so you get your Wi-Fi feed. This gives you a really nice range and really good response times. The app asked me to do a simple calibration to the compass by turning the drone. This was really straightforward. From here I got GPS lock and I was able to take off. The drone has an automatic takeoff and landing feature, which works really well. It's pretty smooth here, as you can see. Once the drone takes off, it gets to a certain height and will hover in position because of its GPS lock. This was quite a windy day, but you can see the drone holds its position pretty well. This drone has several smart features. Here I'm going to be showing you orbit mode, which is supposed to circle your position while filming you. This didn't work perfectly. It seemed to think I was slightly off and orbited a position slightly off from where I was standing. I simply just moved over and this solved the problem. So this isn't really a big deal, but it is to be expected for a lot of GPS drones, because some of these cheaper drones don't use any visual tracking. They're relying on the accuracy of your GPS signal, which isn't always perfect. It only works to a certain amount of feet, but just moving your position will solve this problem quite easily. I did have a similar problem with the follow me mode, but I tested this a second time and it seemed to work a lot better. So I don't think you can rely on this feature 100%, but it's still pretty cool, and you can see here it is working okay. Follow me mode was also interesting. You can adjust the height and the direction that the drone is facing while it's in this mode without it exiting. So you can adjust the position and hit follow me, and you can see here it doesn't work too bad. The drone will keep up with you pretty well. Even if you're running, it does quite a good job to keep up with you. So this is quite a little fun feature to play around with. I then decided to do a range test, as this drone has quite an extensive range in its specifications, so I wanted to test this out and see if it was actually pretty good. I was really surprised how well the FPV feed held up. Even at such a long distance, it remained responsive, as well as the control input from the dedicated controller. You'll see that the distance at the top, I get to about 350 meters. The drone is still really responsive. The feed from the camera remains responsive also. I think I could have probably pushed the drone a lot further. You'll see that the signal strength indicators at the top are both pretty much full, but I didn't feel comfortable taking the drone any further from the position that I was. At this point, because I was far away, I decided to test out the return to home feature. You have two options: to return to where you took off from, or to return to your current location. So this will basically use the GPS in your phone to determine if you've moved from the position you took off from, and it will then come to you instead of your landing point. Both times this worked really well. I tested this out on quite a few different occasions, and the drone came back pretty much to where I was. It will never land exactly where it took off from, but it will land pretty damn close. I also want to show you the Waypoint system. For this to work, you have to have the drone landed. You then hit the box on the top left of the app, which is basically Google Maps. From here you can draw a waypoint system for where you want the drone to fly. You can adjust in the settings how long you want the drone to stay at each waypoint. Once you've done this, you simply hit submit. You take off the drone and then you hit done, and it will fly into these positions. It's definitely a fun feature. It's not something I use a lot myself, but it does exactly what it said it would, and it works pretty well. And of course, last but not least, we must talk about the camera on this drone. Overall, I was quite impressed with this camera. I don't think it's going to blow you away, but for the price point, I think it performs quite well. Some of the colors seem a little bit blown out and the brightness seems quite high at times, but I think you get pretty decent quality and you can get some really nice aerial shots with this drone. I definitely had a lot of fun taking this up to a high height and just doing a slow pan to get in the scenery. This is a lot of fun to do, and I think the camera is good enough quality to get some quite nice pictures also. I did 2 separate flight tests with this drone, and I got about a 20-minute battery life on both tests, which I think for this drone and its price is pretty good. I really had a lot of fun flying this drone, and I think that will probably be the main reason most of you will think about purchasing it. And I don't have any problems recommending it. It had a nice long battery life of about 20 minutes, which is good because this actually met the specs that Hubsan have put in their description. I find for a lot of drones you actually have to knock off a few minutes to what they actually advertise, but this one got a good 20 minutes. It did have quite an aggressive warning indicator for its battery, and I didn't find the battery indicator always completely accurate, but it was enough to give me a good indication of when to bring the drone a bit closer to me. It also has a lot of safety features in place, so the drone of course will return to you if it's low on battery. You can of course cancel this at any time, and when it gets super low the drone will just gradually try and descend and give you less and less power. but this is really nice because you're really confident that the drone is not just going to fly away from you. I was also really impressed with this controller. It feels really high quality. The phone holder is nice and sturdy and doesn't move around at all. I think this will fit most phones, so that's a really big plus. If you have a really large phone with a case, you may struggle to fit this in, but I think for most of you, you'll be okay. Some of the smart features didn't work great, but this is to be expected from my experience. A lot of these GPS drones that use follow me, orbiting, waypoints, they can be slightly off because they don't use any type of visual positioning unless you have a more advanced, normally more expensive drone. So I wouldn't let that put you off too much. The orbiting and the follow mode is something that will be a bit hit and miss in most GPS drones unless you have some sort of visual tracking. But overall, I really like this drone. I really hope you enjoyed the video, guys. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing for more videos like this one. And of course, I will see you in the next one.